Sajjad, could you kindly give the visitor a mic? Oh, okay. I want to confirm that we have James with us.
Yes,
am I right?
James
Thank you, James. Welcome. I will ask our legal officer to kindly take us through the next session before we finally begin. We formally begin. Thank you. Kennedy?
Good morning.
Thank you, Chair. Would you kindly confirm to the House that you are James Dengo Ndongo Mureu?
Yes, Honorable Chair, I'm James Ndongo Mureu.
Kindly use the mic. Help him to adjust the mic, please.
Chair, with me I have an ID card in the name of James Ndongo Mureu of ID number 099-41. So I would, you're going to start with either you taking an oath or affirmation for purposes of the information you're going to give before this committee. So what do you wish? To take an oath, swear by the Bible?
Whichever. I'm a Christian, I don't mind.
Okay.
The Bible.
Hold the Bible on your right hand. You can read the words as prescribed by inserting your name.
I, James Ndongo Mureu, do swear that the information I shall give before this committee is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God.
Thank you. Take a seat.
Thank you. Kennedy, you're done? Thank you. Thank you, Kennedy. Mr. James Ndongo Mureu, welcome to this vetting session.
Thank you.
This is the Committee on Trade, Tourism, Industrialization, and Cooperatives. I'm the chair. My name is Engineer Remui Kayani. Come from
Engineer?
Remui Kayani.
Remui.
Yes. I come from a ward called Githafai, and I chair this committee. We're going to have a short, quick introduction from the members. I will begin with my immediate left, who is my vice chair, and then we'll follow that queue until everybody's introduced so that we are on the same page. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Joyce Munywa, specially elected from Daragwa Central, vice chair of this committee.
Good morning. I'm Mwangi Nyaga, MCA Kaibaga Ward, Majority Leader, and a member of this committee.
Mwangi.
Thank you. I'm Honorable Isaac Kungu. I'm a member of this committee. I represent the people of Wanjohi Ward.
Yes, good morning, Marmari. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, my name is Honorable Gashomba
Shomba.
from Jabini Kiburu in Kinangop. I'm a member of this committee. Thank you, Chair.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Josephine Wakero. I'm a clerk assistant.
Hi, morning. My name is David Gitao, a research officer from the Assembly.
And my name is Kennedy Moneki. I'm a legal counsel.
My name is Faith Mushiri, Hansard reporter.
Answered. Yes. Faith.
Jehyo Kingori, ICT.
I'm Cecilia Degwa, ICT.
I'm Mogote Daniel, Communication.
Thank you. That's about all. We have other members who were not with us as yet.
Yes.
They'll be joining us in due course. If we'll be lucky, maybe before we are done with you, they'll have joined us, and I'll give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. We have about 4 members who are yet to join us. Without much ado, James.
Yes.
Feel at home. Relax. We are not going to ask you anything that you don't know. So feel very much at home. And before I proceed, I would ask a Honorable Thenji to introduce himself.
Thank you, Chairman. I've been late for some few minutes, but my name is Peter Thenji Keriga. I'm an MC from Lodie, and I'm a member of this committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Another member here to introduce herself.
Good morning. My name is Faith Kamori, Sergeant at Arms in the Assembly. Most welcome.
Thank you, James. Now, without much ado, we will get to know each other more. Yes. I'll take this opportunity to now officially welcome you and ask that you introduce yourself to the committee. Tell us who you are in totality, your education, your background, your competencies. Take about 5 minutes to let us know who you are in totality, and again, with relevance to this position that we are in.
My Honorable doesn't have a file.
Right, that will be taken care of as we proceed. So, Mr. James, take your 5 minutes. Let us know who you are.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairman and members of the County Assembly. Good morning to all of you. Yeah, my name is James Muriu, as you've heard, and I am a Kenyan who has been in various positions. I studied in Kenya. I went to Starry Boys, finished my O-levels and A-levels, and joined the Central Bank, where I worked, and I joined Kenya Polytechnic, did a diploma there, and after working the Central Bank until 1994, I left and joined the private sector as a businessman. In 1998, towards the end, I left the country to go to Australia, to live in Australia with my family. And during that time, I was running my own business. I was selling tea and coffee from Kenya, which was a complete change from a banker to selling tea and coffee. But I saw an opportunity in Australia because they consume a lot of tea and coffee. So I said, let me try this, and it did very well. And meanwhile, my children were studying there. At that point, I may not disclose the exact reasons why I left, but there was a lot of political heat, all of you know, during that time, and I think I was sitting on the wrong side of the political divide. So I found it safe to take my children and my wife to Australia, where they had the privilege of getting good education. And I also decided to educate myself there, so I registered for an university education there, and I completed in 2003. While I was There I also saw very many opportunities for Kenyans, and I was actually appointed to act as a de facto trade attaché by the ambassador then, as well as represent the Kenya National Chamber to try and carry out the matters to do with trade. There were many inquiries about Kenya, but there was very little information. So I took it upon myself to bring information into the Australian community, and I got, I can say one of the greatest successes was to get the Akamba handicrafts into the Australian market. Queen Victoria market was littered with Kenyan products. I really drove that agenda, and I also made sure that all the gifts that the ambassador was giving were all Kenyan made, either coffee or tea or artifacts. So when I came back, I joined the Kenya National Chamber. I came back in 2005 and started clamoring to change the Kenya National Chamber. By that time, it was in very bad state. So Kiprono, Kitoni, and myself took it upon ourselves. We worked very hard to transform Kenya National Chamber to what it is today. And that's one thing I can say was one of my greatest achievements in life, because I believe in enabling trade to flourish for any development to happen. Then I served the Kenya National Chamber in Mombasa, where I lived and worked, and then left Mombasa and came to Nairobi as a national vice president of the chamber, where I served for 6 years. After that, I left and went to Kenya Private Sector Alliance. After I finished my term, I still had the urge to serve, and I went to Kenya Private Sector Alliance, where I served. I also, during that time, got picked to join a number of boards in Kenya. I joined first the Business Registration Service Board as chair of finance and HR. Then I joined, I was also nominated to join the National Cereals and Produce Board, where again I had the privilege of chairing the finance and HR committee, as well as business operations committees. I served those two committees. And then shortly after that, I was appointed by President Uhuru as the chair of the Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, which I currently serve, and which, within the confines of these walls, I have remained serving. And as far as I'm concerned, I've not been axed by the new administration. So I continue to serve as the chair of the Micro and Small Enterprises Authority, where we are handling a lot of low-end solutions for the micro and small enterprises. Key amongst which is the Hustler Fund, the Constituency Industrial Development Fund, the KEOP, the Kenya Youth Employment Fund. We also do what we call Constituency Industrial Development Centers, which are common user facilities that we construct. I am sure we have some here. We have also done a cold storage facility here in Olkalau. That was done under my guidance. So I have a bias for Nyandarua in a way, and that has led me to actually acquire some land just near Captain. Actually, I've seen Mwangi is my MCA, and I salute you. And I think together we will do a lot for this county. Chair, I don't know whether I need to expound a little further, because in my course of doing this, I've had the privilege of meeting the governor, and being the father of this county, I was actually privileged to come to his inauguration. He raised a number of issues, and I can tell you the first place he reported after being sworn in was the CID, the cold room facility. That's where he started his work. And we sort of became friends, and there are a number of other things that he has asked me to help him do. I think he also saw some potential in me, and that's why I offered myself for this. It is really a service I would like to give to Nyandarua, being a county that has a lot of potential that probably has not been fully turned on. I think my 5 minutes may be over, but I have a lot more, but I think let me pause there and allow any questions.
Thank you, James. That's quite a rich CV. You've traveled, you've interacted with a lot of professionals along the way, and that's quite a rich CV. If I may just ask, as I open the plenary, how did you get to know about this position, and why did it interest you? I know you probably might have mentioned it, but let me be a little bit more direct. How relevant is it to you, and what competencies and privileges or opportunities do you bring to Nyandarua, if you're given this opportunity? Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think for me it is a natural happening because I have a lot of interest, and it's not just in Nyandarua, it's everywhere. Nakuru, Mombasa, where I lived, Kilifi. I go for trade, and really what I'm doing right now is in line with what was advertised in the papers. And when I saw it, because of my bias towards Nyandarua, I actually had seen something similar in Kilifi at the same time. They were not advertising. And having lived in Mombasa for 30 years, I almost went for that, but I think the bias I have living in Naivasha and wanting to move here, I love this weather in Nyandarua, so that was a compelling reason for me to want to be in Nyandarua. I have the competence. I think I have what it takes. And for me, Honorable Chair, I believe in teamwork. I believe all of us have a reason to be in Nyandarua, and more importantly, a reason to leave a mark. We would like to leave a mark, each one of us. We are here but for a short time. And I think, based on the fact that I've traversed this world, I think, Chairman, I've been to about 135 countries around the world where I've established good networks. 135 countries. Through the chair, I have been to about 135 countries around the world, and I've established networks there that I feel can benefit this county. For example, the Dubai sheikhs came through to Nyandarua. They landed here because of my interaction with them. Recently, Mr. Chairman, I must disclose this, I brought a group that had been to Nyandarua, and they saw the land just opposite the little town, Wana MCA Captain. There is a land there earmarked for university. They said we can build a university here. So I said, Karibu, this is, don't look any further. They were actually going to Narok and Kajiado. But I said we need, this is the only county in the Republic that does not have a university of its own. So I said, I'll be happy to host you here. And shortly after that, I brought them to the governor, and they had a meeting, and I think sooner or later, there's a PPP that will be coming up there, a university ground. I don't know whether it's here or it's in Gedavai, depending on what interest the governor sees as best for this county. We will soon have a university and a hospital. Not to mention the old Borosot resort, where the sheikhs from Sharjah visited and have very, very key interests. Yeah.
Thank you, James. I think I will open the plenary, and as I do so, have you, beside the land that you bought in Captain, that you own, do you have any other investment that you've done in Nyandarua?
No, but I'm buying something in Gedavai.
Thank
There's
you.
somewhere I'll be seeing you, because
thank
that's
you.
very near Naivasha. I currently live in Naivasha, so crossing over from Naivasha to Gedavai. Actually, I'll tell you, Chair, when I'm inviting visitors to these and investors, I've told them that we are only 40 minutes from the airport, because I look at Gedavai as the closest entry to Nyandarua. So,
okay, James, thank you for that. I think we'll interrogate that further as we go on, but I will want to give my vice chair to put some few questions to you, and then we'll go around.
Okay.
Each member will ask a question.
No problem.
And also the colleagues who are here. Thank you.
I think it's not in doubt your vast experience. What are the main organs or arms of county government, and what their functional differences? You have gotten?
Main organs.
What are the two main organs of the county?
Thank you. I think the two are the county assembly, which is where we are, and the other one is the executive, where the governor sits. And I think the county oversights the governor, and that's the difference. The county enacts laws that the governor then can govern the county through. I think for me those are the key differences.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Muriu. Your CV is quite rich, and I'm happy because when I perused the papers, indeed, you have gained a lot of wealth in different arenas. My question is, value addition in the county remains one thing, because you know the status of this county. How do you intend, if given at this chance, how do you intend to promote it in the county to create wealth and employment?
Thank you very much. And maybe before I answer, I'll also want to introduce myself to you, especially because of the interest I have around Gedavai. Maybe that will come later, because I believe in value addition. One of the compelling reasons that really made me go for this position is when I saw the post-harvest losses that farmers go through. When there was drought in this country, the farmers in Nyandarua were crying to the government, please come and collect cabbages and carrots for free and take them to the areas where there is no food. The cows in this county feed on cabbage when others don't have cabbage. So the fact that I would like to deal with these post-harvest losses in and itself drove me to this position. I know what value addition means. I know, having sold Kenyan tea and coffee in Australia, how our tea and coffee is treated outside there, because they say they sell it sparingly because they use it to value add the low, or to lift the quality of the low coffees out there. Why can't we sell it as Kenyan coffee? Why can't we sell it as Kenyan tea? Why should our farmers experience post-harvest losses in potatoes, where I know we are very strong? Can we make potato unga? Can we make potato crisps? Can we make chips? And we are already looking at how we can engage KFC and other companies that deal with chips and potatoes to see what value they can generate for us at the cold room facility. The 20 acres adjacent to the cold room facility can also be a very good springboard for developing value addition centers, park houses, food banks. That's what we need in Nyandarua, because Nyandarua always experiences excess harvests, and a lot of these end up wasted because of lack of facilities. So it's really for us as a county to bring together institutions that can either utilize the potatoes here or the crops that we have here and value add here locally, so that we do two things. We save the farmers from post-harvest losses and also create employment.
Thank you. Welcome, Mr. Dungo.
Yes.
Missy, I have met you before.
Yes.
You are Fred.
Yes.
Mr. Madhu.
Yes.
You can remember.
Yes, I do remember.
I have two concerns and a question. The first concern, I can see that, and congratulations, because I can see currently you are chairman of about seven other bodies.
Yes.
Starting with MCEA, and another one here, currently the president of the Union of Africa Private Sector Organization Limited.
Yes.
So if we give you the chair, you add into the portfolio, you'll be having 8. I'm concerned because you are the second batch that is coming to take over the board, the investment board in Nyandarua. The first lot was there, it did not really kick out very well. So you are coming to put a foundation, and you'll be the face of the investment for Nyandarua. So it requires time. and a lot of sacrifice to make sure it is a newborn. I just want you to give us that assurance, how available, within all this work, how available it will be. Because last time we did vet some people who never appeared for any single meeting in this county because they were busy doing some other things elsewhere, and you were very frustrated. So I am wondering whether you get time, actually, to bring some of the issues that you are talking right now, and you have very good ideas. That is one concern. The other thing is, we have noted that according to the statistics by the Kenya Bureau of Statistics, Nyandarua is highly rated when it comes in terms of generating wealth for the county. We are around number 6 in terms of generating wealth countrywide. But when it comes to terms of growth, Nyandarua, in terms of growth, we are the last. So what do you think is the cause, and how do you change this? That we are generating wealth, but our county is not growing. What do you think is the cause, and how do you think we can be able to change this analogy to become one of the fast growing counties?
Thank you very much. First of all, time factor. You know, Mr. Chairman, I think in segments of half an hour. So when you're having an 8-hour day, I'm having a 16-hour day. Because everything I should do within an hour, I do it within half an hour. That is how I manage to do so much, and I'm able to do so many things. And so if I've managed 7 and counting, one more will not break my back. because truthfully speaking, I am good at planning, and I run a very tight diary. And I'm also able to combine a lot of things. For example, and I'll tell you this, where Nyandarua is not able to pay for my ticket to go to Dubai or Hong Kong as I was recently, Msea pays for it, but I'll go and kill 2 birds with 1 stone. I'll get something for Msea, I'll get something for Nyandarua, and any other county that may want, depending on where they sit. What I'll avoid is conflicting interests, where I am doing something, for example, trying to build, because I remember recently I met somebody from Narok who said, why do you go to build a cold room in Nyandarua when you should do one? Narok produces more potatoes than Nyandarua. I said, no, your statistics are wrong, and in any case, I'm from Nyandarua. And I did not mince my words. I said, I've done that with a little bias towards my home county. After all, you start with Jerusalem, then go to Samaria and to Judea. In terms of generating wealth, what we are talking about, what we have in this county is like, if you put off these lights and the room becomes dark, is there power or is there no power? There is power, but you need to go to there and switch. We have potential that we have not turned on. And I'll say this, what ordinary people call luck, I call the crossroad of an opportunity and preparedness. Ordinary people say you are very lucky. I'm not lucky to be sitting here. I actually prepared myself for this. I saw the opportunity, I grabbed it. So anybody thinking that James Moreo was very lucky to have gotten to this level, even going through the first and the second, I was prepared, I saw an opportunity. What Nyandarua needs then is somebody who can actually harness the potential that you have to be able to bring out the best. And we will build shared prosperity. We will build, if we turn, for example, the potato chain alone, and make sure the farmers, now they are starting, we are propagating the Marquise variety for KFC. We have already started pushing them. I was pushing that through MSEA. Maybe now the combined effort between MSEA, my one side, and my trade relation on this side, I'll be able to put more energy and drive this agenda so that no longer will farmers waste their potatoes, no longer will farmers lose their cabbages. We shall get dryers in here, we shall get the Gulf food. For example, I have information now that if you appoint me tomorrow, I will turn into money, because I know that the Middle East has depleted its food reserves following the COVID. They have very little food. And the only place that I know they can turn to is here. That's why even the sheikhs, when they came here, they were saying, everything grows everywhere. I said, yes. But you see, it's an opportunity. Are we prepared for it? That is where I would like, that's the role I would like to play very strongly.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Bwana Mureu. Bwana Mureu, once again, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, I've heard you that you have a lot in terms of experience in the many areas that you have traveled.
Yes.
And to my surprise is that we've achieved nothing in this county. And before I go there, please try to list 5 trade and investment opportunities.
List?
List 5 trade and investment opportunities in the county and how they should be exploited. Enhance county-owned source of revenue, increase county employment rate, and also household income, respectively.
Thank you, Honorable Gashomba. Chairman, that question, I've actually answered it partly in what I said. I can repeat in the interest of responding to that. But if you look at the value addition for potato, value addition for even a product like pyrethrum, this county was known for pyrethrum, and value addition for milk, value addition for hides and skins, because we also have a lot of cattle here. Those are value additions that will definitely create trade. There will be investors, and one of my strongest area is in attracting foreign direct investment, FDI, into the county. Now, once you've brought in investors into this country, what they are coming to do really is to create employment for you, put money in people's pocket, create shared prosperity, and at the end of the day, Honorable Chair, we shall also have created, once people are resourced and they have been able to sell their cabbages and potatoes, even when the county goes to ask for taxes, they have something to pay. The tragedy is when a county or a people in a county do not have the ability to create wealth or to create money for themselves, and you go and ask for money. They find you are the enemy of development. So through those, and there are many others. I mean, Olborosot, for example, the resort that has the deepest falls almost in the world, is untapped. The Happy Valley Homes, that is potential for your tourism. If you create that tourist ecosystem, it creates employment, it puts money in people's pockets. It is deep and far-reaching. So I have no doubt we have what it takes. It is us again to go to the switch, turn on the power, and Nyandarua will flourish.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. Maybe what you have said, you agree, you have all the potential, now you're in office, you'll be given that job, we'll check on you.
Rest assured, Honorable Gashomba, I will be equal to the task, and I like challenges.
Thank you.
Honorable Denji, thank you, Honorable Gashomba. That was spot on.
Thank you, Mr. James. Can see your age is that age of being respected.
Thank you.
Welcome in the county leadership.
Yeah.
I've also learned you have gone about 135 countries.
Yes.
Transversing.
Yes.
Gaining a lot of experience.
Yes.
Different political leaderships in different countries. Mr. James, I have no doubt that now you are an experienced gentleman that Nyandarua needs or require. Mr. James, I want to ask you a question related to national and county governments. Please, Mr. James, are you aware of any national and all county government initiatives to boost trade, industrialization, and investments in the county and the country at large? Kindly.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, I'm aware, first of all, that for this country and county to survive and to flourish, there has to be good working relationships between the two levels of government, none looking down on the other. I strongly believe in that. This is a strong government on its own. The national government has its role and role to play. And one of the things that I am happy and excited about as a Kenyan is the fact that devolution is working. The fact that if you traverse this country, you will see, and I was recently in Lodwar, and I saw a lot of shiny roofs as I was flying down. Way before you get to Lodwar town, they have now spread out, meaning there is growth. There's a lot of development. So the devolved functions of the county must be therefore upheld. Having said that, if you look at, for example, and I'll give you localized example, the cold storage that we did that as national government, where I sit as the chair of the Micro and Small Enterprise Authority. The whole facility was funded by the national government, but recently we handed it over to Governor Badlisha to now administer. Kazi yetu inakuishia hapo, yenyu inaanza. Now, I may enter now the second phase of my development by again attracting the right investors to utilize that facility, to be sure that we are able to turn it into an opportunity for Nyandarua people. There are many other devolved functions. For example, hospitals. Now, you've had the president recently talking about the decentralization of KEMSA so that medicines can be brought to the doorsteps of the counties, and that is going to be again a national service brought down to the grassroots. There are many other examples: road transport, water, privileges of water in different places. I mean, there are many functions that we can think about, all of which are supposed to bring development to the people of Nyandarua.
Thank you, Honorable Thenji. The honorable members are exhausted, but I want to ask two questions because it got interesting when you responded to questions. Okay. I want to really get your thinking in and around the fact that you're coming in to deal with trade development and investment opportunities within the authority. I want you to wrap it around and say, and tell us, make us understand what your research, because before you came here, you must have done the research. What are the existing trade opportunities existing? What are the status? Of course, you pick a few. What are the status? What are you going to do about them? Maybe to resuscitate them, put them on the proper footing. What are the investment opportunities that you see we could also quickly move in? And I ask that because I want to imagine, and allow me to use that word, that when you're coming in, you already understood very well what it is that you're coming to do here and what is expected of you. Our understanding is that we would want to see, just like the question Honorable Gashoba asked about the own source revenue enhancement, the opportunities that are there, the sleeping giant, the switch, the power that is in the switch. Yeah, and the question that you asked, and I took note of that, is there power or is there no power? When the power is on the switch, is there power or is there no power? The opportunity that does exist within the county, the sleeping giant that it is, the already, crawling opportunities are there. When you're coming in, you saw a market that was developed somewhere called Loliondo, right? That is an opportunity, an investment that was done. I mean, what gets into your mind when you see such giants? When you go to Sokomujinga, Sokompia, you see a market there. What are you going to do to ensure that the opportunities that exist within that market, are revived? They are improved, they are increased. Those opportunities. When you look at the daily industry, what comes to your mind? How can we enhance productivity within the daily sector? How do we tap those opportunities? Because basically, when you come to the authority, that's what we're looking upon you to come and do. How are you going to make this county vibrant in terms of trade, in terms of investment, so that it becomes a giant that is meant to be. So wrap it around for us.
Yes.
Let us see you in that realm, in that reality. And you look at Nyandarua from Karamton to Kenton, traversing across the entire county. It's a Hungarian opportunity. Kindly help us see you, commanding or taking a commanding role in taking this forward.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. First of all, given this opportunity, I'll make sure that all of you are re-elected. And I'm saying this because I'll take development down to the grassroots and make sure Kaibaga has something, Anjohi has something, Jabine has something, because these opportunities abound. They are there. It is just that we haven't utilized it. For example, if we turn on the milk opportunity, and again, I had the privilege of meeting at a group in India called Shua. They're looking at investing here in Nyandarua, not coming to buy milk to go and process. I can easily bring them here to start milk processing here so that they have a direct link with the farmers. Honorable Chair, what has bedeviled the country and the counties is the middleman. The middleman has exploited the farmer to the extent that he works so hard to look after the animals, but gets so little he can't pay his school fees. So what we want to do is break the middleman and make sure these farmers are part of an ecosystem for milk, for pyrethrum, for potatoes, and utilize, and mark my words, utilize the women groups and the youth groups. That is where the big strength of every county and a county like this lies, where we use what we have. In the Bible, when Moses was asked, what do you have? He said, I'm a shepherd, I only have a staff. That is what we want to utilize. What do we have here? And here we have milk, we have potatoes, we have cabbages, vegetables. And I will be trying to match where I've already mapped out the scarcity with what you have here as excess. For example, and I'll give this as an example, a real example, the Middle East right now, in trying to regenerate their food reserves. Usually, and this is what the Sheikh told us, they had food reserve for 5 years until COVID struck. And for 3 years, they were not importing, but they survived. No one lacked food in the Middle East. Some of us here were suffering, and all of us know. Now, to restock these food reserves, they will need Nyandarua to produce as much cabbages as possible, as much potatoes as possible. They have dryers, they had dry cabbages, they dry carrots, they dry everything, and stock there. And that is how we are going to immediately get onto that. Try and establish markets for our products. We have excesses, save the farmers, post-harvest losses, and give the Middle East people enough food to build back their reserves.
Thank you, James. Before I give Honorable Gashomba and Honorable Kunga an opportunity to ask, let me ask you this. It's interesting listening to you. And the more you say, the more you speak, the more I want to hear. But if you could give me, and as I do this, I want to bring it to your attention that this is the committee that will be oversighting you. And that's why Honorable Gashomba did indicate to you that we'll be watching you closely. He meant that you'll be working very closely with us as we oversight you. What in your simplified version would be what you tell this committee if you take the office within the 100 days? What tangible, credible, projects or program will you have brought to this county so that we'll be able to say we actually have a chairman who is a hands-on person, so that you tell this committee, and like I said, and I did put a disclaimer, this is the committee that will be oversighting you, just like Honorable Gashomba said, we will be watching you.
Yes.
So what would you tell this committee that given the opportunity, within 100 days, you'll have delivered to Nyandarua, so that we move away from the many talks, discussions, and explanations to facing the reality. And so that when Gashomba goes to Jabini, we'll be able to tell the people of Jabini, there's an aggregation center coming up there. Remember, that will also fall under you. What is it that Gashomba from Jabini, or Kayeni from Githafai, or the other members will be able to go back and tell their people, we have a chairman who is competent and has committed to give us this in 100 days. Thank you.
You know, Chairman, I already solved half of that problem. By having the cold room facility here, I will first start by mopping all the potatoes and looking for enough resources to start a warehousing system where farmers who have excess potatoes can come and deposit these potatoes in the cold room and get a receipt that they can use or transact with to a secondary market. That within 100 days will be done. I have no doubt about that. The other issue that I would like to deal with very, very quickly is to do a study, map out the farmers and what they produce and the areas they are competent at, and drive them by encouraging them to produce when they have a ready market. You know, a lot of farmers right now just produce like, you know, bahati nasibu, I may sell, I may not sell. But if we have pre-planting contracts where you're telling the farmer, grow me 5 acres of potatoes and I'll take all of them, or grow me 5 acres of carrots and I'll take them, then and then only shall we. And that is not rocket science, members of this committee. It is something that's doable because God has given Nyandarua good weather, good soil, hard-working people, but no market. Mimi produce market around the world. And Chairman, I also want to remind ourselves, this is not a Moreu affair, it is our affair. As a team, I would like to encourage, even when we travel, I'll want some of you to travel with us so that you go and see some of the challenges. Even when my budget is brought to the Bunge, you are the same people who will either slash it and cut our legs or increase it so that we do more. But I'll start by using what we already have. Thank you.
Thank you. That is quite spot on. I have picked 2. The clerk is here as noted. Mopping potatoes to the cold room for storage and processing within 100 days. Also market-driven farming or agriculture.
Yes.
I got you right, so that you don't farm.
Yeah.
I would have expected a 3rd and a 4th one. I'm sure there are issues to do with agriculture, the daily industry.
There are many.
And of course, I just want to loop you into 100 days because I'll be very keen on the 100 days.
I'll tell you one that has just come into my mind.
Please go ahead.
The young girls in schools, primary, secondary schools, need sanitary towels. I have been pushing the governor to start a plant for sanitary towels because I know that is a big problem. It has made girls leave school. That can be also done within the first 100 days. In fact, that could be the lowest hanging fruit because that's a need that has already been established and it's just a question of turning it on. So there are many.
The discussion around the globe is about climate change.
Yes.
What opportunities do you think, from where you sit, exist for Nyandarua on the front of climate change, both in mitigation and adaptation opportunities? Trade, investment, opportunities in and around climate change, adaptation and mitigation. Thank you.
I think Nyandarua is very lucky in that I think God, when he was creating the world, developed everything right for Nyandarua. You have a good forest cover, you have good soil, you have good good products that really are world beaters. But what I see as a big opportunity is really taking advantage of the carbon credits, where there is now talk of carbon credits, grow more trees, and claim your carbon credit and get international funding attracted to this county. The development, for example, of Olborosot resort without interfering with its natural nature will in itself be a world-class beater. If we are able to do that and prove to the world that what I saw, and I've been to Olborosot, if you develop an eco-lodge within that, that will be, first of all, it will be very attractive. It could be the 9th wonder of the world with that fall, and zip line cars, cable cars crossing the fall there just to enable you to have a nice view. And if you don't touch that environment, you can claim a lot of carbon credit that can be dollarized. And for me, that is where we come in and plant more trees, encourage that we keep Nyandarua. First of all, it's already a very good county. make it better, plant more trees, and encourage, discourage deforestation.
Just want to go, like, if you give me an opportunity here. There exists a lot of funding in and around the climate change.
Yes.
The global climate investment fund, all that money is sitting out there.
Yes.
I would have wanted to hear you say, we as an opportunity, we're sitting on gold mine. How are you going to move very fast to ensure that Nyandarua becomes a bigger beneficiary? We already have a funding called FLOCA. FLOCA from World Bank. How else would you leverage Nyandarua so that we don't lose on those opportunities? Because again, those are very low-lying fruits, and the global debate or agenda is on conservation of the climate. So if you could say in just a minute, and then we go to Honorable Kongo and then Honorable Gashamba, and we wrap it up.
I think we have enough funds around the world. This is just one of them. There is the Overseas Private Investment Fund from UK, from US, that also looks at this kind of environment. I am well known to a lot of these funders. So all I can say is, once I'm in the office, I'll look at my list of priorities, and within the first month or so, I'll probably now want us to sit together, not so far away as in being interviewed, but sitting around a table discussing the opportunities that we all see. Because what you are saying and what Gashomba is saying and what everyone else is saying is important for this county. It will take all of us to build this county. I told a sitting recently when we were talking about the unity of purpose, and I said, can you try and clap with one hand? Okay, turn to your neighbor and give them a high five and see the sound that comes out. You see, that is the unity of purpose. You know, but if you try to clap with one, but your neighbor and my neighbor and all of us together, we shall make Nyandarua shine. And I have no doubt that I'm equal to this task. And leveraging on my international networks, I've just been recently appointed the president of the Trans-Pacific Africa Chamber of Commerce and Industry. That is bringing the FTA that has been signed in the US with the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and leveraging on those opportunities. Now, if I'm sitting here from Nyandarua, from Kiabaga, surely the first children I feed are my Nyandarua children before I feed anybody else. So we'll be sitting with these opportunities, and I'll make sure that never again will you interview a chairman who sits here for the period that you'll give me and does nothing. I will do something.
Anabakungo?
Thank you. Chairman, allow me to deviate.
Yes.
Because all what we have been looking at is the experience and the vision that you have. But you are here as a result of our County Government Act, that is Nyandarua County Development and Investment Authority Act. And there is a requirement for the chairman. There are some things that you would like us to assist us. Of course, for you to be a chair, number one, you need to be a Kenyan citizen. You have no doubt.
Yes.
You are a Kenyan citizen. You need to hold a degree from a university recognized in Kenya. Maybe you would like to us to assist, because I can see you have a degree from Hartford.
Hartford University, yes.
Yeah, we need maybe a certification.
I can do that. Actually, I was told by somebody called me on Sunday. Yeah. I'll try and get that sorted out, because I studied my degree in business administration to help myself run my business better. But if that need arises, I'll definitely go to CUE and.
Yeah, so that we can be able to. I
was told that actually on Sunday. Somebody sent me a message on Sunday. So
we would like, because when you look at your experience, you are at least 10 years. We have no doubt. But for that degree, we would like it to be certified so that we can be able to have complied with the Section 9 of that Act.
No problem.
My final concern is that you said that at some time you are out of country because of political. You are sitting in a maybe, because I've heard you have interest in Gitafai. Do you have any political interest?
No.
Maybe we are vetting you and you're interested.
Maybe I'm going for Kaibaga. What? No. That was not because of that. It's the powers that were then We had a business deal that did not go right, and they were trying to bully me out of it. It was not, it's a political climate then, and you know, during that difficult time of Moi leadership, I actually can disclose to this committee that I'm the one who brought in a team that built the Signon Freight cold rooms at the airport. I did that project, and at some point in time, they refused to pay me, and when I demanded for my payment, some white cars started following me, so I thought it's safe to just exit. So I did that, and that's why I left the country. I didn't need to leave the country. Although, in hindsight, I'm happy that I left because my children and myself had the privilege of having this good education.
Thank you. Maybe Honorable Kashomba, as we conclude.
Thank you, Bonnie James. Maybe you have, we have Mindred company. No, we have Mindreds. The Mindred company in Jabini. Mindred
yes.
company.
Yes.
It holds immense potential in the value chain. In addressing the post-harvest losses for agricultural crops in the county, what is your take on the revival of the company? Bearing in mind that the national government has been funding other projects, even in Western Province, like Mumia Sugar, Sone Sugar, tea industries, and those companies has been misappropriation of funds have been seen on those areas. Why won't you push for Mindred, the national government, to come over, maybe to collaborate with the Nyandarua County, get into share, and be able to revive that industry, rather than coming up with aggregation centers and all that? They don't have even a policy framework on the same.
What I can say, I don't know everything in Nyandarua, but I will acquaint myself as soon as I'm allowed to be able to look at the best solution for such an organization. And if need be, and I will also tell you, from where I sit, I have the years of a number of senior government officials. There is no harm in us claiming our share of the national cake by way of reviving Midrand's company. I mean, we have seen money pumped into Kenya Airways, into Mumias, into Tanzania Sugar. Nothing has happened. I don't think we'll go the same route, and from where that money comes from, we can go and fight for it. And I'm a good fighter as well. Where I know I have a right, I will not let anybody get away with it.
Thank you, James. So far, so good. I think I'll give this opportunity to the technical team. This is a team, again, you'll also be working with alongside us. Yes. So that I know they might, especially the researcher here and Kennedy, might want to ask a question or two. So kindly take the opportunity, then we wrap it up there. Thank you.
Chairman, before they even ask me, I like the way you're referring to it as a team, because I'll also be cheating myself if I think I can do this without you, or without this team, without the research, because there are issues that have already been found out. So what we need is not to start researching again. What we need is practical application of what has been researched. So as they ask a question, I think there's a lot that can come out of them.
Thank you for appreciating that. Innovators are always researchers, and research doesn't end. Yes. So as you hit the ground running, yes, the researchers will also be doing the research. Don't forget, I'm an engineer. We are innovators. Innovation doesn't end. Thank you.
Sure.
Researcher?
Okay, good morning, Bona James.
Good morning.
I think listening to you and looking at your CV is very impressive. And I must say, you have the right person for the job. You've talked about so many things, but we must start somewhere. And if you look previously at what has happened, the government is an enabler, but the government is not good at doing business. So you do the enabling part, and then you leave the rest to the private sector. So So I would like to know, for us to tap the numerous investment and trade opportunities that you have mentioned, will you be more biased towards the county government investing or doing business on behalf of the people, or you'll be biased towards the private sector? Because the ideas you have shared, if you leave it to the county, the budget is so limited, but the private sector capital is not limited. And I think that should be the drive. Secondly, what would be your promise or vision to the people of the Nyandarua County, that of all the opportunities that you have mentioned, at least if you focus on 2 or 3, the household income of the people of Nyandarua will be really transformed within your tenure?
Okay, thank you, Chair, and thank you for that question. First of all, let me remind you, I wear 2 hats. I'm both private sector and public sector, because I'm a private businessman before I'm made chair of any other organization. Remember, I chair the Union of the Private Sector Organizations of Africa. Now, in that place, we deal with private sector matters, and a lot of them. And in there flourishes the FDI. That's where we can tap in and bring the foreign direct investment into Nyandarua. So I have no doubt that government is very poor in doing business. That you don't have to research. That I can tell you without a doubt. Government has no business doing business. But we are enablers. We can actually create opportunities and allow business to thrive. That's why I'm saying I can go and look for markets and enable the Nyandarua farmer, who is the business practitioner, or the pyrethrum farmer, to be able to grow or contract grow products for a ready market. That is the role that government plays. And I'll be enabled to travel and go and create these markets and come back and tell farmer A, I want 50 tons of cabbage every month, and I want 50 tons of carrot, and leave it at that. The farmer grows, then I link them with the market. And so that is the surest way of putting money into the pockets of the people of Nyandarua. I have no doubt about this. And that's why I promised. In my travel, worldwide travel, I've seen many opportunities go begging. My business is to go fulfilling these opportunities using the people of Nyandarua as a springboard to those solutions.
Yeah, Ken, go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Chair. Once again, good morning, Mr. Mureu.
Morning.
My concern would be, and I'm sorry if I could be a little bit taking you back, because sorry I had stepped out. I don't know whether you had addressed the same. There's the provision for the trade and development fund for the traders and business people of Nyandarua within the provisions of the Act, for which the board is actually supposed to manage. And the unfortunate history of the trade fund is that it has never been rolled out, even since it was established under the now repealed Trade Fund Act, and then now remodeled under the Trade Development and Investment and Development Authority Act. So I would wish maybe just to raise a concern, and as you address it, as you will be taking over from with the approval of the House, that maybe you can or tell the committee, or maybe come up with the modalities on how to rethink the model of what we have had as investment funds in this country, running all the way from the Youth Fund, the Women Empowerment Fund, now Wezo Fund, the Hustler Fund as it is now. And as we look at now the Nyandarua Trade Fund Act, on how we can be able maybe to leverage on other collaborators, and maybe the model of how we roll out the funds, how we expect that money to be utilized and repaid back, so that we can be able to see some form of growth, some form of help to the youth and women and the special groups within our community, and for the overall development of the county and the country at large. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I think those concerns are valid, and if you ask me, I can proudly say that I superintended over the Hustler Fund launch through the ministry that falls directly under the Ministry of Micro and Small Enterprises and Cooperatives, and the foundation of Hustler Fund, and the rolling it out within 1 year to achieve a 40 billion disbursement in and itself is a big milestone for this country. How it was done is digital. You see, a lot of funds have failed because of committees, because you have to go and meet a committee and explain to them, and meanwhile your project is suffering. If you look at the model that the Hustler Fund took, was purely digital. And I remember when the president was launching that Hustler Fund in Nairobi, the members of parliament were asking, so how will the funds be disbursed? Are we forming a Bunge committee or so? No. The Bunge committee is between your phone and your credit score. Start slow and keep climbing. It has not achieved its full objective, but I think it has gone far to prove that a digital product works better than a physical product where you have to fill forms and go and see the chairman. The chairman says go and see the secretary. The secretary tells you go and see the clerk. The clerk takes you around by the time, and meanwhile they milk a little bit of money from you, and even the little that you had is wiped out before you can think of what you wanted to do. So my view would be the fund must be well thought out and digitized. Let us go digital. And without appearing biased, I would not go for the youth first. I'll go for women groups. I have my own experience is that women are good payers. They pay back what they borrow. They are very good at utilizing what they have taken. So we'll start by strengthening our women groups. Their chamas are already working, are very alive to that. And then bring in the youth. And the youth will have to force them into this. Because the youth, and I'm sorry, those of you who are in that bracket, have a very misplaced sense of entitlement, where they think the Nyandarua owes them, the government owes them, and they can sleep all day and spend time on the phone and be able to get money. That will not happen. So, and I've seen that. In fact, Chairman, I'll tell you something which really upset me one day. I was on TV being asked about the MSEF and the KEOP, the Kenya Youth Employment. And I said, we give grants of up to 40,000 to youths that have brought a plan. You start seed capital 40,000, go and start your barber shop, whatever it is. And then this guy struggled to get through the phone and asked me the question he asked me. I felt if I had a way of getting to him through the phone, I would have gone and slapped him, because he asked, sasa wewe chairman, munapatiana pesa ya kubet? And the way he was sounding, sounded like he was in bed. And this was about 11 o'clock. And he thinks he can borrow, he can be given a grant to go and bet. So those are the misplaced entitlements that I really felt bad about. And I think Nyandarua is no different. If anything, we'll put a condition that that will be tough for the youth to get money. And if they get, we monitor them like never before, because they've wasted resources. They've taken this. There's another one. We gave 40,000 grant. He said he's very far, hana bus fare. So I said, okay, fine. Send him 1,000 shillings. I want to see this man who does not have bus fare. Akatumiwa 1,000 shillings, and he didn't come. So after a week, he was called and he said, nilikuwa nafuliza ilimezwa. How can you help such a person, Chairman? Hata tukitaka. Lakini tunapigana ni watoto wetu, we shall keep trying.
James, that is why you're being given this opportunity.
Yes.
We need to turn around that kind of mindset.
Yes.
Remember, the youth forms the resource.
Yes.
And the future resource for the current and the future resource for this nation.
Yes.
So we cannot sit back and, write them off.
We haven't written them off. We are not given.
As I sit in this committee, chair this committee, I also sit in the committee on youth and sports. And therefore, youth empowerment, precisely. And we're gobbling with the mindset of how we change these people. So this is an opportunity for you to really rewire our youth so that they orient their thinking towards being productive. And I can also tell you that betting is also licensed. It's not an illegality in Kenya. It's also licensed. It's an opportunity for them. Could be the only low-lying fruit because there are no opportunities for them to trade. Having said that, I don't want you to respond to it. Just a statement. I want to give this opportunity to a colleague member, honorable member who has joined us, the Honorable Milka Wanjiru. Milka Wanjiru will introduce herself to us, and she'll ask a question if she has any question, and that will be our final questions. We'll have closing remarks, and then we'll usher you to a cup of tea, and the rest will follow. Thank you. Not yet, as that will come much after Honorable Milka. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair, the committee, and Bona Moreu. Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Milka Wanjiru, member for Kirita Ward, the newest municipality, Maironya municipality. I'm a member of this committee. I don't want to take you back because the question that I wanted to ask is about the experience and what is it that you have been able to do, whether you have worked with the government, and if so, do you have examples of what is it that you brought to the government? But already that question is answered. To me, I'm comfortable. I want to wish you all the best. However, we are struggling with ensuring that we get youth back on track. That is one of the assignment. You are parting shot for women. It is good. We are okay as women and we are happy. However, these youths are our children. We need to devise a way of getting them back on track. Thank you.
Chair, I have two of them. I battle with them every day. I've not given up on them. So I'm not about to give up on them.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, James. James, I'll now ask the Honorable Majority Leader, to give some comment, closing remarks, and probably a vote of thanks.
Yes, thank you very much, Chair. Mr. Mureu, I just wanted to say that I'm happy because you are one of the products that I can really say we are proud of, because I know even where you have the rad. And I'm glad because you have really touched so many areas, and the way you have analyzed on some of these areas is quite impressive. At times I was just looking into the deeper way that you'll be bringing wealth of experience in this county, and with no doubt, if you do it the way you have promised us, we are greatly privileged to have you as the chair. And auja nilete down kama mtu ya Kaibaga. This is the kind of products that we have in Kaibaga. I'm very much proud of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Majority Leader. Thank you, James. It was a pleasure, having you around.
Thank you.
The discussion was quite engaging. We didn't know we'll spend all that time with you. It's because we found quite a lot to get from you. I am confident, should you get the opportunity, once this committee takes a leave to go and write the report and to analyze the results. I know each member had a scorecard, and we'll be looking at that in our report writing. We will have an interesting session to really discuss you in absence. And therefore, let me take this opportunity to wish you well, and ask the one and only elected member, who is a lady, to kindly escort you out and show you where you can enjoy a cup of tea. Feel free, interact with us even more. We wish you all the best. It was nice meeting you.
Thank you very much, Chairman. I think I also want to thank you, committee, and the staff that were involved, for the privilege of sitting with you and discussing with you. And I promise you, I am not in the habit of failing. I will not start with Nyandarua, least of all. I will do my best. And the common thing that we have here is the governor is also my friend. And with the support and with the speaker's support and the assembly, something good must happen. So thank you very much, and it's been an interesting session. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.